Petition by RFK Jr. fan pushes Montreal to stop putting fluoride in drinking water. So much for Quebec resisting the influence of the fascist American monoculture. Report dated March 2024, Water Department said it began reconsidering the use of fluoride in water supply after receiving a citizen petition in 2020. The petition was launched by resident Ray Colho, who says his campaign was supported by Kennedy. Supported by, so not just a fan then. The Water Department says it costs about $100,000 a year to fluoridate the water at the 2 treatment plants. $100,000 a year for an entire major city? That's nothing. It says the benefits of fluoride are particularly evident for low-income families that have less access to dental care. Didn't we look at this, and there does seem to be some legitimate skepticism with regards to fluoride's potential negative effects on people if like over saturated in the water supply? I feel like you should just, I don't know, pay for people's dental care. I'll be an anti-fluoride conspiracy theorist. You know, I'm willing, I'm able. If RFK Jr. wants to, you know, fund my channel. Why stop fluoridation or fluoridation? I keep saying fluoridization. Fluoridation. Decision was made by analysis. Only 1% of the drinking water produced by the plants is consumed by humans. Fluoride is a highly corrosive product that can damage our infrastructure in the long run. Wastewater treatment is not with fluoride for water. The water is discharged into the St. Lawrence River, and there are a few studies about its impact on aquatic plants and animals. I don't know. That seems to me like a pretty compelling reason to at least like reevaluate your policy on the introduction of fluoride into municipal water. I don't really have any hardline, like, you know, preconceived biases going into this, I guess. It wouldn't be the first time that we had made an overstep in terms of like public health before, you know, where we ended up causing more trouble than we actually solved. Well, not necessarily, Sour Hill. It depends on what you're corroding. The only health-related issue was at levels over both national and international safe water limits, according to the actual survey, which apparently is pretty common. And there might be environmental impacts. I don't really know. But Vosh, there isn't a good reason to not, and there are good reasons to. Are you stupid? We're looking at reasons not to. We're talking about reasons not to. What do you mean there are no reasons not to? You're looking at claims of reasons not to. This isn't evidence. I feel like we've got some globe heads in chat. Some of you motherfuckers are taking the default position because you know that being anti-fluoride is associated with RFK Jr. I understand it. I understand it. There's like an aesthetic bias there where it's like, you know, you don't want to be sharing an opinion with people like that. A lot of scientific incuriosity is what I'm seeing. Unless all of you people are, you know, municipal water experts, which I doubt. I highly doubt. I don't want to be lumped in with RFK. You're weak. I mean, we can look again if we want to. No cancer risk. So that's good. Long-term exposure to drinking water that contains more than 1.5 parts per million of fluoride can lead to health problems. That's from the World Health Organization. Parts per million fluoride in U.S. water. I'm sure it varies municipality to municipality, but I wonder if there's like an average. Recommended amount is 0.7 to 1.2 parts per million, but how much is actually in there? Water fluoridization in the United States. U.S. served with coming of fluoridization, the percentages, the proportions of the resident population served by public water who are receiving fluoridated water. Okay, but what about the amounts? 74.6% of those on CWS, community water systems, were receiving water with fluoride at or above recommended levels. Well, wait, pretty big difference between the at and the or above, wouldn't you say? The EPA published a maximum contaminant level standard of 4 parts per million for fluoride applicable to public water systems. 4 parts per million? But that's well above the point where it can be an issue. CNN did a huge breakdown 11 hours ago. I guess we'll be talking about it more in the near future. Thank you. We love our current and updated info. Recommended is 0.7 ppm. What size? Some 53% of these water systems have fluoride concentration within recommended levels between 0.7 and 1.2 parts per million. Just under half of them have fluoride concentration under the CDC's recommended level. Some 53% are within the recommended. Just under half of them are under the recommended. Wait, then how many of them are over the recommended? Only 2. They're the same, Salty Internet Pirate. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so apparently all of them are within or below, and they're fitting the WHO or the CDC's recommended level, but they're not hitting the cap, which is 4 parts per million. The EPA's maximum contaminant level, no cap. So does this mean the cap is wrong and should be lowered, or is that bullshit? Well, it seems like everyone's already within the range, except for 2 systems in South Carolina, which, I mean, damn. Oh, that's pretty good. I wonder what evidence we have then of people over-consuming fluoride in the water in America. Sure, it's happening elsewhere. We know that fluoride can help prevent tooth decay and improve oral health. Living within a community of fluoridated drinking water is associated with lower incidence of decay, missing, and filled teeth. The Canadian city of Calgary removed fluoride from its water due to skepticism about the benefits of fluoride and to cut costs. A later study compared children in the city with those in Edmonton, where water remained fluoridated, found that over 3 years, children in Calgary had more tooth decay in their baby teeth. What the hell, man? How are you getting... Okay, not to like parent blame or whatever here, but how are you letting your baby teeth having children get tooth decay? Are you not like brushing their teeth for them or like telling them to brush their teeth? It's the UK? Yeah, I guess. Just like, geez. Juice? Yeah, it's like super sugary juice, I bet. Part of it. I don't think babies brush their own teeth. Yeah, but you keep your baby teeth until like... When do you lose your last baby teeth? Are you like 10, 11, 12-ish? Right? When you lose all your... Or is that like way later? 8 to 10? Okay, I don't remember. Like 4 to 6? I think it's later than 4 to 6. Because 9... We'll just ballpark it at 9 to 10, I guess. It's really easy for baby teeth to get tooth decay as they have much less enamel. I guess that makes sense, yeah. You really got to be careful, though. You know, one of the biggest things that you can do for your oral hygiene, not even brushing your teeth. Like, you should, but like even a lower bar. If you've just had a sugary drink, you should drink some water after it or wash your mouth, because otherwise you've got like a bajillion teeth-rotting particles floating in your mouth. You know? Like, if you've had like a sugary drink of any kind, Monster Energy, Coca-Cola, whatever... Yeah, your mouth is turning into acid, basically. Your saliva is burning you from the inside out. Did all people have tooth decay a few centuries ago? Yes, but they also didn't have anywhere near the access to sugar that we do. So it was kind of like... there are pressures in both directions, where nowadays we know what dental hygiene is and they didn't, but at the same time, we're also like chugging Coca-Cola like no one's business, and they weren't. Back then, the shit they ate was like flour milled with the stock of the bones of the hunting dog that they had before it died of consumption or something, and, you know, less sugar in that. Other studies have found that improvements in oral hygiene awareness and dental practices more generally have lessened the benefits of fluoridated water. A recent report concluded that water fluoridation does help prevent cavities, but not as much as originally thought. Authors posit that recent improvements in cavity prevention are due to the popularity of fluoride in toothpaste and mouthwash. That makes sense. I can see fluoride being like a massive game changer back in like 1952, when probably 10% of the population was practicing anything even remotely close to good oral hygiene. And nowadays you can get like fluoride toothpaste and mouthwash pretty easily to remineralize your teeth or whatever. So it maybe the benefits kind of decline over time. International data supports this. Around the world, tooth decay has decreased since the 1970s, even in countries where fluoride is not added to water. Decayed, missing, and filled teeth at age 12 by country. From fluoridates water, does not fluoridate water. Iceland, Italy, Japan, and the UK do not fluoridate water, and they've been having a significant decrease in these health problems. Likewise over here with Brazil, New Zealand, the United States, and Ireland. The United States apparently had the lowest initial, like when they began tracking this data, the lowest initial amount of decayed, missing, and filled teeth at age 12, which I guess makes sense because, you know, back in 1978, America was a superpower and still is today. So we have a lot more wealth to go around, access to dental care. You know what's going to be fun pretty soon? These numbers are going to go back up. You all know that, right? Especially for the US, UK, and other countries where we're seeing this like massive rise in austerity and economic inequality. These numbers, for the first time in like modern history, they're going to start to tick back up. So that'll be fun. Hell yeah, brother. Gotcha, Putte. Are you aware of the atrazine stuff? No, I don't know what you're referring to. Getting a dental appointment on the NHS is impossible these days. It's crazy too. You'd think that dental care would be the easiest kind of care to provide because the solutions are always really simple. Like with a doctor, there are so many things that can go wrong with your whole body. All your organs, your skin, your bones, everything. And a doctor's job is to like assess all of that and refer you to a specialist as needed. The dentist is just after your damn teeth, and the solution is almost always the same. Scan it to see if there's any cavities and like clean it up. It's this, like, I know sometimes it gets complicated, but for the most part, you're dealing with like a much lowered level of difficulty with regards to diagnosis or triaging or anything. People come in and they're like, my tooth hurts. And you're like, okay, open your mouth for 45 minutes and salivate profusely while I apply this drill bit, and then you'll be fine. Exposure to too much fluoride can lead to adverse effects. A study published in May this year found that higher exposure to fluoride during pregnancy was associated with increased neurobehavioral problems. And an August federal review of existing research found that higher estimated fluoride exposure exceeding WHO guidelines of 1.5 milligrams per liter was associated with lower IQ in children. These levels are rarely seen in the US. Okay, well, if we don't see those levels in the United States, then it seems like we pretty much got the problem handled. You think this is all like a big long-term scheme to get more money to dentists and the private equity firms that own them, you know? Like, make everyone's teeth worse so they have to go in for more dental appointments? It's probably the main reason, I assume. RFK is correct about atrazine. I don't know anything about this, but if the EU has already banned it, then we should probably ban it here, right? Like, generally speaking, if there is a pesticide or food additive that the European Union has banned, I'm going to assume there's a good reason that it's banned, and we should probably ban it here. Not always, but often. He's right about atrazine as far as I can tell, yeah. We do use some wild pesticides here in America. I know that for sure. I don't know anything about the specifics of, like, herbicide use. Endocrine disruptor. This is why you're all such low T beta males. In a 2011 study published in the journal Environmental Research, scientists compared women's menstrual cycles in areas of Illinois where atrazine was widely used on crops with Vermont where it was used rarely. The public drinking water in Illinois had double the amount of atrazine than in Vermont, though both places were within the legal limits. Researchers found that the women in agricultural areas of Illinois were 5 times more likely to report having irregular menstrual cycles than those in Vermont. Jesus Christ! You're going to be giving birth to mutants. Yeah, if RFK bans this, that's probably fine. That's probably fine. I'm okay with this getting banned. Huge RFK dub. Might be a fan of it, of him now. Can't get rid of microplastics, Benny Boy. They're not like, microplastics are caused by macroplastics, and macroplastics are everywhere. No getting rid of those. Yeah, that makes sense, Uncle Twisty. Who cares, Raylene? Kowalski, sometimes you really are like a stereotype. Like, I would have made a joke if I had known. The one atrazine defender, I have to say. I hope it produces you great crop yields and leaches into the groundwater minimally. That's all I can say. That's all I have to say.